The practical approach. Science is facts. Just as houses are made of stones, so is science made of facts. But a pile of stones is not a house, and a collection of facts is not necessarily science. Henry Poincare. Science is a subject which cannot be mastered by just learning few scientific principles or concepts. It requires a great deal of effort and patience, but the rewards will be much higher than the input. Many eminent educationists, both old and new, have stressed the importance of learning science by adopting a practical approach and involving oneself in experimentation and evaluation. Mere rote learning will not help in mastering key scientific concepts. In fact, there is a method called scientific method, which helps in proper understanding of scientific phenomena. The scientific method is a way of developing a logical and systematic pattern to solve a particular scientific problem. If one were to perfectly define steps for scientific method, it may not be exactly possible, because there may arise some sort of variations depending on the nature of the scientific concept. The first step in scientific method is to ask oneself a question about a particular concept which we desire to know about. Your aim should be to find an answer to the concerned question by asking about the question. The next step is to gather information which you will use to make a hypothesis. A hypothesis is a proposal intended to explain certain facts or observations. After you predict what will happen in the result, the next thing you do in the experiment is gather data, etc. After that, you experiment with all available data and draw a conclusion out of all your work, in which you answer your question and find out your hypothesis is correct. Lastly, you report the results so that other people should be able to verify your results as well as get the knowledge that you learned during the whole experiment. The steps of scientific method may be simply put as below. Define, identify the problem. Collect data and information. Form a hypothesis. Make observations. Test hypothesis by performing experiments. Organize and analyze data. Do experiments and observations support hypothesis. If no, perform new experiments. Draw conclusions. Communicate results. Adopting a systematic, logical and scientific approach helps a lot in easing out the complexity of problems and at the same time fosters a scientific attitude and develops intuitive skills.